Hey y'all, Week 16 gets underway with a Thursday meeting between the San Francisco 49ers and the suddenly skidding Tennessee Titans. Then on Christmas Saturday at 4:30, the Packers host the Browns up in snowy, windy Lambeau. And then later that day, down in the desert, it's Kyler and the Cardinals hosting JT and the Colts. What are you doing Saturday night? Merry Christmas, everyone, and welcome to the December 22nd Father, Son, and Holy Sport Weekly Podcast. What's up, T?
What's going on, G-Man? Back in Ohio. It's great. I'm in the fields of Wapakoneta here. Just like my main man, Joey B, was throwing darts this weekend. I'm in the basement, got the dartboard here, ready to throw some bet darts here. Some darts at G-Man while I put him down on the Ross Rundown here, and some darts for the rest of you. Let's get into it, G.
Oh, yeah. You want to throw some darts to my man Cooper Kupp behind me. Watch out, man. This guy's playing the game.
Woo!
Hey, have y'all checked out our separate, shorter clips and shows? We've got a new Big Bets football show for you, sponsored by Help Me Startup. G-Man now 69% accuracy, picking against the spread, helping you win some cash. And Team Money on the fantasy show. We got a 15-minute segment, Team Money, 58% accuracy on his cold fantasy picks this year. And we have the T-Ross Chug and Chat coming up for you. It's going to be live, and we got it in its own separate 5-minute podcast clip. Look for the main podcast, all the segment shows, wherever you watch your podcasts and post. We're on all the platforms at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. Press the like and subscribe for us. Trying to break 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So let's kick things off here with the December 22nd Ross Rundown, a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport Weekly Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Woundwise IQ. So, Team Money, hey, let's kick it off with your Ohio-based Cleveland Browns, Justine's team. Are they done for the year?
Oh, man, I think they are. I don't think they're going to be able to make it with the Steelers having a better record. I mean, they're last in their division, so they need help here. That's the biggest thing. Now they play the Steelers and they play the Bengals, but the Packers, Steelers, Bengals to finish out the year, and you need to win them all basically to get in. I think they're done. I think it's been a very disappointing season for them. I'm just for Super Bowl hope, it's been disappointing that they might not make the playoffs. Now they've had some unfortunate things. Baker gets hurt, a lot of COVID things. They could have won that Raiders game probably, but no more excuses, man. You want to play with the big boys, Brownies. You got to show up. And these guys did not this year. Pretty disappointing overall.
Yeah, they're currently ranked 12th in the playoffs. Only 7 teams make it in, but they're still only one game out of that group. So they still got a way to do it. They're at Green Bay Saturday at 4:30. Yeah. Green Bay's favored by 7, though.
Yeah, toughest remaining schedule in the NFL. I just don't see how the Browns do it after – not that they don't have the talent to. This is what we've been saying all year. They could be a Super Bowl team, but they just haven't put it together, especially versus the good teams. If your best win is a Bengals win that was in week 5 or whatever the heck it's been, like that's all they have to their name, and they are who they are at this point. They're just not good enough to make the playoffs.
And the Packers have given 28 points or more in the last 4 games, but they're also scoring more than 30. So the Browns have a little bit of a challenge, but they're going to have to put points on the board.
Yep, that'll be difficult for them because they just love to run that ball. But hey, bad weather might help them out. Well, let's go to your main man, your other main man. I know you love Cooper, but your boy JT, Jonathan Taylor, has just been showing out and just slaughtered one of the best defenses in the NFL. I mean, right now, he's not even getting love from anyone. I mean, he's right. He is moving up in the MVP odds, but why is he not getting any respect right now, G?
Well, he's not getting any respect because the Colts aren't getting any respect. And JT doesn't like that. JT is a team man. He's a humble man. And I think individually he does get respect, but it's the Colts started out the season 1-4. They dealt with a lot of injuries, but they've went 7-2 since then. So now they're sitting there at 8-6. They're in that playoff picture. I think, people are starting to look around and say, all right, can this team, be a contender?
Yeah, I mean, it's been really impressive what he's done. His first 3 weeks were really, really bad, but they've gotten it together since then. I think the biggest thing, with him winning an MVP this year, because man, is he valuable? Oh my gosh, they're 8-0 when he gets over 100 yards, and they're 3-0.
Yeah.
And it's just excluding the first 3 weeks when he just was horrible, and then without him getting 100 yards, they're 0-6. So you just see how valuable he is. But I think the biggest thing is Derrick Henry had such a monster season last year. For him not to win the MVP and then for Jonathan Taylor to do less than what Derrick Henry was doing last year, I think people are just kind of like, well, we saw Derrick do that last year. This is nothing new. I don't know. I think they got a little Derrick Henry fatigue for not giving him an MVP. So if they can't give Derrick one, we can't give you one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that could be true. That could be true. But, JT's breaking out. He's a new guy, and the Colts have not done well. We're going to see Saturday night, Christmas night, the nightcap matchup when they play the Cardinals. We're going to see what goes down there between a team that everybody thought was number one across the whole NFL. And this game is a pick'em team money in Vegas. Pick'em game.
Yeah, going to be interesting. These Cardinals are on a little bit of a skid. I mean, you just lost to the Lions, so who knows what's going to happen with that. But, man, Jonathan Taylor, props to this guy, just been mauling people. I mean, came out of nowhere, been great for fantasy owners, great for the Colts owners. I mean, I'm sure Colts fans love that Carson Wentz won a game only throwing 5 passes. That means he probably didn't throw a pick, and that's great for Colts fans.
Okay. Hey, let's say that's supposed to be my answer, not your answer. Hey, let's move to let's talk about those Arizona Cardinals. Hey, man, what's wrong with the team? You said that they weren't doing well. What's wrong with that team, man?
I mean, I don't know if Kyler Murray's still hurt a little bit. They're missing JJ Watt a lot on the defense and his leadership. Maybe he's not in the locker room as much. DeAndre Hopkins is out. So, they're missing a lot of big guys. They had Chase Edmonds out, even though James Conner was on a roll. I just think Cliff Kingsbury is a new head coach. Kyler Murray is a relatively new quarterback. Maybe his injury is lingering, but they're just they're not used to being the hunted. If that, usually they're used to being the hunters. And now the season has changed and everyone's like, oh, these guys are 10-2. Let's go get them. They're the number 1 seed. Let's go get them. That's Tom Brady. They get everyone's best game. Green Bay, the Bucks, all these teams, the Chiefs. Now the Cardinals, they were getting a rollover game. Now they're getting everyone's best game and they're ready to fight, and they're not responding these past 2 weeks.
Yeah. And they faded last year and people are afraid they're going to fade again, but still they're up there at the top. We've been talking about these 5 teams in the NFC all season long and all of our shows, those 5 teams, the 2 that were in the finals last year, Tampa Bay and Green Bay. And then we've got Dallas, Arizona, and the Rams. And those 5 NFC teams are the cream of the crop over there. And right now, the 6 and 7 teams, the other 2 making it in, people are fighting for those last 2 spots. Right now, it's the 49ers and the Vikings in those last 2 spots.
Yeah. I mean, they do get to play the Seahawks to end the year. Like I said, they're 10-4. They're still winning the division. So I think, but they're going to get at least one more win. And even if they don't, they probably still slip into the playoffs. So they should be lucky here. I wouldn't be too worried about them making the playoffs, but it's the next part that's going to be interesting. But here, let's switch to another team that has had a little trouble here. The Pats, even though they are the 2 seed right now in the AFC, are they really the second best team, Gary?
Well, I will say if they beat the Bills on Sunday, yes, they are. The Bills are a game behind New England, but if they win this game, if the Bills win, they're going to have the edge over the Patriots. The Bills' final 2 games after this one are the Falcons and the Jets. So they should win those, and they have a good chance of winning the AFC East. If they win on Sunday, if they beat the Pats on Sunday, right now the Pats play the Bills at home, and they're favored by 2.5. So Vegas thinks, hey, New England's going to hold this out.
Very interesting. I disagree no matter which team wins this weekend between the Bills and New England.
Who do you like as that number 2 team?
I think it's the Chargers. I think the Chargers are the
your man,
second best
Justin.
team.
I
love me some Herbie. Okay. I love me some Herbie,
man.
But, I just think they beat the number 1 seed, Kansas City. The second time they played them, they took them to overtime. They have great players at all facets of the game. So they have great quarterback, great running back, great receivers, great DNs, great safeties, great line. I mean, every great offensive line. They have the ability to be great at all facets if they put it together. They've beaten the Browns. They've beaten the Steelers. They've beaten really good teams here that are in playoff contention. The Raiders, Washington, all these teams, the Eagles that are in playoff contention. They've had some hiccups. I'm not going to lie. And they did lose to the Patriots, but Mac Jones had his best game of his career, and it wasn't that impressive. I just think that these Chargers are for real. I really like what they've been doing. I think if they can put it together, they are clearly the second best team in the AFC.
And you got a man crush on Justin like I've not seen, man. You love that guy. But yeah, they're a great team, man. I can't say no to that. And they could be up there in that top spot. So I support that, man. Hey, let's go on to talk about one of those other teams there, the one that's currently the top. Let's talk about the Chiefs, T-Money. What do you think about the Chiefs, man? Best team in the NFL or not?
I think they are. I think they had a skid, and you got to look at what have you done for me lately. Now, they are 1A. And the Packers are 1B. I'm going to give my love to the Packers. They have been great. I like what they've been doing. But this Chiefs defense changes things. If the Chiefs defense is going to play like this, like they have, and been the best defense in football the past 2 months, and then you throw Patrick Mahomes in there when he could throw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns in a quarter like he did, I mean, my gosh, this is a scary, scary team. And this is the way I look at it, Gary. If every team could pick their first round opponent in the playoffs, the Chiefs would be the last pick. No one wants to pick the Chiefs. Aaron Rodgers has been a little sketchy in the playoffs the past few years. No one wants to play the Chiefs.
Hey, they're the best team in the AFC right now. I'll give you that. I don't know if I'd put them over those NFC teams yet. They did have that poor start. They could have some dings here as we move along. If Kelsey and Tyree can't play this weekend, there could be some bumps here, but they do have, they're favored by 10 against Pittsburgh. They're hosting Pittsburgh on Sunday. 10 points is a lot of points. But you know what? Kansas City has covered the spread now 5 games in a row. So, hey, man, maybe they'll cover that 10 points.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Now, the only team I'll put them over in the NFC that you could argue with me, though, is the Packers. The Bucks just got shut out by the Saints. So let's pump the brakes on other teams. The Cowboys barely beating Washington. The Rams always stumbling here and there, barely beating the Sea. I mean, let's pump the brakes on some of these other teams. So what I want to transition to, though, is one of the NFC teams.
Yeah, one of those
people
teams.
like to consider.
I was waiting for that transition.
Okay. And that's the Cowboys. They win again, right? They've been performing well. You got to like what they're doing. So the big question is, they're second right now in the NFC. Are you impressed?
Absolutely impressed. Yes, I'm impressed. They're not even playing well and they're winning.
Yeah.
And their defense is kicking butt. They're winning with defense. They've allowed just 14.7 points per game in the last 3 weeks. 15 points. That's all they're giving up. They've created 12 turnovers in the last 3 games. So they got that defense playing amazing ball, and they're not even playing well on offense. So they are in great position once they start putting it all together.
All right, let's put some context into this, Gary. They've been playing the last 3 weeks. All your little stats there you had were versus Washington the Giants, and Washington.
Yeah.
You want to bring out these stats? I'll fire them right back at you. Who the heck were they even playing this weekend? I think it was a fourth string QB. I don't know who his name is. That's literally.
Are they second in the conference?
I'm just saying.
Are they second in the conference?
Am I impressed at them beating the NFC least teams? Okay, no. They haven't played the Eagles since week 3, and the Eagles are a very different team. They're playing crappy teams. I'm not giving you credit for what they've done lately. They almost let Washington come back. They didn't even look good versus the Giants, who everyone looks good versus the Giants. I mean, congrats on having a good defense versus 2 bottom feeders. I'm not giving them credit for that.
I said they're not even playing well, and they're second in the conference.
Or that's who they are. You show us who you are, and I think they slowly are letting us know.
Well, that could be. But hey, Sunday we're going to find out a little bit about them. They're favored by 10 over your Washington team. They're at home. Washington had some of those big COVID issues that we have been talking about that have been affecting everybody. Well, hopefully all those teams will get it back together, and COVID's not the thing that hurts their season, and people get over that. We got a short week here for Washington, playing Tuesday, coming back. This should be another Cowboys win, though, my man. I think they're going to get this one. But hey, I got one more point on the Dallas team. NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Odds in Vegas, okay? Odds to win the Defensive Player of the Year. Guess who the top 2 are?
TJ Watt.
Yes.
Micah Parsons.
Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett and TJ Watt are the favorites. But guess who 3 and 4 are? Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs. The Cowboys, 2 defenders in that 3rd and 4th spot. So there you go, man. They got that defense really clicking, and Vegas sees it. Hey, we hope you love what you're seeing in the Ross Rundown, a special segment brought to you by Father, Son, and Holy Sports, sponsored by our friends at Woundwise IQ. Woundwise IQ is a patented mobile analytics software app that automatically measures and analyzes chronic and surgical wounds. It's used by leading physicians and nurses caring for people with chronic and surgical wounds to document the wound healing progress. Just download the app from the App Store. You're ready to go. Learn more at woundwiseiq.com. Hey, do you know that we love you? If you love the show, press the like and subscribe. Look for us on all the platforms at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. And if you're interested in being a guest on our Ross Rundown segment, reach out to us. Merry Christmas from everyone here at Father, Son, and Holy Sport to all of you. Enjoy the games this week, and good luck in your fantasy playoffs.
All right. We'll catch you later. Good luck. All right, sweet. Well, let's move on to the next segment here. What we got, G?
Let's do your chug and chant.
All right.
I want to see you chug a brew, man.
Well, let's do it, man. I'm excited for this here. Oh, man. All right.
Yeah, what do you got to say today, man?
Okay. Welcome into this week's Chug and Chant. I'm your main man, T-Money, and we got G-Man over here ready to watch me down this beer. I'm going to tell you who I'm going after. Someone I'm loyal to, someone I love, but I got to do it. Give me a second to chug this bad boy.
Well, I'm glad to hear we're going to have you do something about someone you love. That's good.
Woo!
Whoa!
All right.
Nice.
All right, G. Tom Brady, I'm sorry. It's done for you. It's over. Your MVP run is out, my friend. And I know. Everyone's going to respond. Vegas says he's still the second favorite. No, there's narratives to this thing, man. You can't get shut out by the New Orleans Saints. You just can't. What are you doing? First shutout in 15 years. You've lost 3 out of your last 7 after a really hot start. You're now looking up at the 1 seed that you had locked up. Brady is not playing well, throwing picks galore to everyone. Almost lets Buffalo come back and beat them. I mean, I'm not going to give you credit, Tampa Bay, for beating up on Atlanta and New York. Like, this isn't a beauty pageant. Like, you got to actually have some talent here. And now it's injuries everywhere. Godwin's out. Fournette's out. Brady's going to be struggling down the stretch. Luckily for them, they have an extremely easy schedule. Oh, who would have thought the league did that for them? But Brady, your time's done, man. I love you, but the MVP, sir, is no longer yours. G-Man, where do you stand on this?
Well, I'm surprised that you're saying that you love him. I didn't know that you love Brady. So this is a new relationship I'm learning about Brady because I love Brady. Hey, man, TB12, man. I got a tattoo that says TB12. I love this guy. Okay? Fournette is my man. All right? No, he's not out of the running yet. And Vegas doesn't think he's out of the running yet. He's still second in the MVP odds behind Aaron Rodgers, who just passed him up because of this fiasco you're talking about. Brady got passed up. Now he's second. But, hey, man, he's still in there. He's still going to win it. The guy's clutch. You watch him in the playoffs, bro.
We'll see, man. Everyone always talks about narratives and this and that and who's playing well. And it comes down to who's playing well at the end of the year. You don't get credit a lot of times for these first 4 or 5 games. And when you've thrown 9 touchdowns versus just Atlanta, like, we can't give you credit for all these touchdowns you've scored when a fourth of yours have come versus one team. Like, do it versus other teams. And how about you beat the New Orleans Saints? My God, how the hell do they continue to have their number? You just let Taysom Hill score 9 points and beat you. That tight end just beat you playing quarterback, and you're supposed to be the GOAT? What the hell's happening? Come on.
I love when you get excited. I love that. And that's a great chug there, man. I love that. Hey, number 3 in that MVP race, Patrick Mahomes. Guess who number 4 is?
Your boy, JT.
JT is number 4. Could a running back get in there and win this thing? And guess who's a little bit further down the list?
My boy that I told you preseason.
No, the guy behind me, Cooper, right here. This guy, Cooper Kupp, sitting there. He's back there, man. He could set the single season reception and yardage record if the Rams win the division.
Games.
Does this guy get in there?
No, because it's 17 games.
Hey, well, we're going to see your man in action, your man Tom Brady. Tampa Bay on the road at Carolina this week, favored by 11. TB12 will get this thing on track, man. But Tommy Brady, man, you got to listen up because T-Money last week called the firing of Urban Meyer on the Chug and Chant before it even happened. So watch out, TB12.
Watch out.
Pick it up, man. Hey, we hope you love the Chug and Chant this week, brought to you by Father, Son, and Holy Sport. You know that we love you. And if you love us, press the like and subscribe. Look for us on all the platforms at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. And if you're interested in being on the Chug and Chant or to guest chug on the show with T-Money, let us know. T-Money, big fantasy week for you and me. We both have players out, so maybe luck be with you. It starts off Thursday night with you, man, Debo Samuel on the 49ers traveling to Nashville. How you feeling?
We'll see, man. A lot of things up in the air right now. So excited.
Hey, well, Merry Christmas to everyone here at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. To all of you, enjoy the games this week and good luck in your fantasy playoffs.
All right.
Well, let's add that to the ending now.
It's all right.
At least just this week.
Let's move on. What's our next show here for the listeners here? What we got?
Well. Let's go to the fantasy show.
All right. We can do a little fantasy here. What are you thinking? Do a little hot, cold. Come on.
All right. Hey, welcome to the Fantasy Football Show. The December 22nd Fantasy Football Show. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport Weekly Podcast. What's up, T?
What's going on, G-Man? Excited. Here we are. Me and you, Final Four. Come on.
Hey, all right. It's getting exciting now, man. This COVID stuff is hitting everybody. The injuries, man, who's going to survive this thing? It's getting exciting. This is where being a general manager of a team really pays off, man. We got to pull it out of the hat. Hey, if you didn't make your fantasy playoffs and you're still listening, you can still get great advice and fantasy buzz with DFS picks. You can play daily fantasy. So make sure you check out our big bet show. Get some tips over there too. Hey, y'all, if you like what you're seeing here on the Fantasy Show, press the like and subscribe. You can find us wherever you play your podcasts. We're everywhere at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. Let's kick it off with hot and cold, the hot and cold game.
Right.
G-Man picks a hot one. T-Man picks a cold one. And these hot ones we're picking are middle of the pack, someone a little bit cheaper on DFS who can find you some bargains for you to win DFS and win your fantasy. T-Money's going after cold starters that you might want to bench, or they're going to break your heart, man. He's picking at 58% clip on his cold pick. So if you pick somebody cold, man, you better question whether you're going to start him. And keep in mind, we're recording the shows on Tuesday or Wednesday, so a lot can change. I'm going to start off with my hot picks at quarterback. I'm going with the man behind me, Matthew Stafford, as my hot QB, projected at 20 points. Okay, stepping out here. On DraftKings, he's going for 6,700. Not cheap, but a good value. Stafford and the Rams are salivating. They got a chance to win this NFC West. They can break in there. They're playing the Vikings this week, who have a poor secondary. So these guys have a chance to put up a stat line. The Vikings rank 26th against quarterbacks in fantasy this season. And prior to the 16 fantasy points Stafford put up last night, because they chose to run the ball, he had scored at least 23 points in 3 consecutive contests. I'm going Stafford to beat that 20-point projection.
All right. I like Stafford, man. He's been great lately. My cold QB here, Derek Carr, projected at 14.3 versus Denver. Only had 10 versus the Browns. Just a weird, crappy game from him. But over the last, he's only been over 14, 2 of the last 7 games. So after a super hot start, he has not been great as of late. So Derek Carr, this Denver defense is really legit, really good defense. I think it'll be a low scoring game and Derek Carr is going to be cold. And like G said, these are a lot of times guys that you could either flex out that you might have other options for, or especially in DFS that you want to stay away from.
Oh man. Good pick. All right. I like that. Let's go to running back. I like Javonte Williams on that Denver team that's playing Carr, only projected at 14.0. He's going for $6,100 in daily fantasy on DraftKings. Broncos at the Raiders. He's received at least 14 carries, though, in 4 straight games, even though Melvin Gordon is still hanging around. He's still getting the touches, team money. So, he's been targeted 19 times down the stretch. He scored 4 touchdowns in 4 straight games. He has 342 yards over the course of the past 3 weeks. So I just think that in this matchup where they're giving up, the Raiders are 30th in fantasy points to opposing running backs. I think Gordon and Williams can both survive here and do well. Go with Javonte Williams to deliver another big performance.
All right. I like it. My cold running back here, and I'm sorry to break your heart, G, but it's Saquon Barkley. All right. Saquon Barkley projected 14.1. He's going up against Philadelphia. They have a sneaky good defensive line. He's only been over 14 one time in 5 games since he's come back from injury. So clearly still affecting him, or the Giants don't trust him. Mainly a lot of times they're trailing, so they need to pass. But he's not had a single game over 64 rushing yards yet since his return. I just don't see where this 14 is going to come from unless he gets a touchdown. And I don't see the Giants scoring a touchdown.
Hey, you're putting a jinx on me, man, because I know you know how to pick, but he's bound to break out here, man. But I respect your pick. Let's go to the wide receivers. I'm going with a hot wide receiver on a team that needs receivers this week. You know who I'm talking about. It's TB12's team. Antonio Brown stepping forward here, only projected 13.8. Heck of a buy on DraftKings, team money, only going for $4,900. There's a good buy for all you DFS players. Last time Antonio was on the field in week 6, it was way back in week 6, 24 points. The game before that, 31 points. This week, he's going to be the focal point without Godwin, without Fournette, maybe without Evans. Who else are going to throw to, my man? Tom Brady should look toward Antonio Brown, go with them to beat his projection.
Totally agree with everything you just said there. Shocked he's that low projection. Cold wide receiver this week. Someone I really talked about this whole year, Jalen Waddle. 14.2, the Miami Dolphins receivers playing New Orleans. They kept Brady and them boys to 0 total points scored. Miami's going to struggle versus this elite defense here. And I think Marshawn Lattimore, one of the best corners in the league, completely shuts down Jalen Waddle here. And Tua, the check down king, looks for somewhere else instead of a tight window given by the Saints defense.
Hey, love that. Love that. Love your little anecdotes you throw in there. Let's go to the next game called Take or Mistake. Take a Mistake. These are crucial waiver wire and substitution picks for you guys. I pick a player that had a big week last week, an unusually big week, and I asked Team Money, should we take the bait or was last week a mistake? I'm surprising him with the picks. He does not know who I'm going to give him. I'm going to start off with the quarterback, Tyler Huntley. Another Tyler. This guy plays for Baltimore. Tyler Huntley completed 28 passes for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns on Sunday, plus he rushed for 73 yards and 2 more scores. 36 fantasy points. Can Huntley continue filling in for Lamar Jackson, assuming he starts, with confidence in Week 16 versus the Bengals? Team Money. Is Tyler Huntley a take, or would that be a mistake?
I think it's a take. This guy is almost what the Lamar Jackson owners were hoping for. He's rushing. He's getting rushing touchdowns. He's throwing for about 202 touchdowns. I mean, this is what Lamar was supposed to be this whole year, but he's been so disappointing. And this is the same system, a very similar player, and he's a motivator. The guys have rallied around him. I like him as a take to continue this.
Wow. Okay. Hey, let's go to running back. I'm going to throw out to you, Team Money, Duke Johnson. Miami's Duke Johnson. I know you can't take that Duke Johnson's out there in the limelight. Dolphins running back Duke Johnson excelled on Sunday. Total 107 rushing yards, 20 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns on his way to 26 fantasy points. Can fantasy managers deploy Johnson in their lineups this week against the Saints, or will Myles Gaskin take back over in Week 16? Team Money, is Duke Johnson a take, or would that be a mistake?
I think that is a mistake, mainly because they played the Jets. Okay, let's pump the brakes on Duke Johnson balling out versus some elite team. He played a Division III football team last weekend. They're not going to continue this. That was a mistake. Gaskin's fine. Ahmed is there. It's just too crowded and not good enough of an offense. It's a mistake.
Hey, let's go to a rookie wide receiver on the Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown caught 8 of 11 targets for 90 yards and a touchdown on Sunday, totaled 23 fantasy points. The rookie now has 35 targets over the past 3 weeks. Can St. Brown continue the success in Atlanta in Week 16? Team Money, is Amon-Ra St. Brown a take, or would that be a mistake?
I think this is a take. Ooh. He's had double-digit targets the past few weeks. I mean, he's getting the looks. I mean, if he gets a touchdown, like you said, he's going to score 20-plus points. It's just a volume play at this point. I like him as a solid flex option. You know, I hope he's not your wide receiver 1 because he is still playing for the Detroit Lions. Okay, so just caution there. You know what I mean? But he's also playing Atlanta this weekend, so it's an easy team. I would take this week especially.
Hey, good insight, Team Money. You're helping people win their fantasy league. We hope you're loving the new fantasy football show brought to you by Father, Son, and Holy Sport. You know that we love you. And if you love us, press the like and subscribe and look for our podcasts and our mini segments on all the platforms at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. If you're interested in sponsoring or being a guest on our fantasy show, reach out to us. Team Money, we're on opposite sides of the bracket, but both of us are in the Final Four in our fantasy playoffs. I'll meet you in the finals.
All right. See you in the finals next week, G.
Hey, Merry Christmas from everyone here at Father, Son, and Holy Sport to all of you.
All right. See ya. Great. Well, let's transition here to our last show. That's Big Bets. What you got for us, G-Man?
Hey, working it for you. Trying to come up with some good ones.
I don't know about all the listeners out there, but this takes a while for G-Man to just switch to a different Word document,
Hey, welcome to the December 22nd Big Bets Football Show. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport weekly podcast, and it's brought to you by our friends at Help Me Startup. Week 16 gets underway, T-Money, with a Thursday meeting between the 49ers and the Tennessee Titans, and then on Christmas Saturday, we get the Browns against the Packers and the Colts against the Cardinals. What's up, T? You ready for this?
Ready, baby. Ready to make some money and continue this Big Bet show, baby.
Hey, y'all, if you like what you're seeing every week, press the like and subscribe. All of our clips and shows are on YouTube, but you can find us wherever you play your podcasts or catch your posts. We are everywhere at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. We're going to start off with our lock pick of the week. We're going to do a dog lock and maybe even throw a little player prop out there for you to sprinkle in some lucky dust for you this week. Let's go to our lock pick of the week. T-Money, who you got for your lock?
All right. I think this is a pretty easy one. Packers -7 versus the Browns. The Browns are skidding here. They have a ton of people on COVID currently. They haven't been practicing together with their starters, and they just showed you who they are. They just haven't been a good team as of late. They lost to the Ravens, and they beat the Ravens barely and didn't score in the second half. They lost to the Raiders. They lost to the Patriots. They lost to the Steelers. They just lose to good teams, and when they lose, they get blown off the field. So, Packers, top 2 team in the league. It's an easy play, Packers -7.
Hey, I got to tell you, I didn't even look at your pick before I did this, T-Money. I got the same pick, man.
All right.
Packers to cover that 7-point spread.
Go.
Field in the snow and rain and wind. I like it, man. Hey, did you know this too? The Packers are 6-0 straight up and against the spread at Lambeau this season.
That makes sense.
Tidbit there for you. T-Money on the path with G-Man. G-Man, 69% accuracy against the spread this year. Last year was 67%, by the way. This year tracking at 69, keeping it rolling in 2021 and now moving into 2022 soon. Hey, let's go to the dog lock. This is a dog pick that we think can win the game. T-Money, who do you like for your dog lock? And I promise I didn't pick the same one.
All right. This is a team that you can bet the money line on. The Dolphins +3 versus the Saints. Now, I did say Jalen Waddle might struggle a little bit in a different segment, but I just think when you have a defensive end special teams player playing quarterback, you're not going to win a lot of games. And Taysom Hill is not going to win you a lot of games. Tua, highest completion percentage in the NFL right now, Tua Tagovailoa. Miami is going to win this thing. It's going to be a low-scoring game, but yeah, this is an easy one. The Dolphins on a little hot streak here. They're going to win this game.
Oh, now you're jumping on the Tua bandwagon when it comes to winning that cash, huh?
What am I going to say here? Come on.
Hey, let's go to the G-Man's dog lock. 7 of G-Man's last 9 dog lock picks have won the game outright. Come on, man. I'm going to Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee for Thursday nights. Primetime games. Right now, the 49ers listed as 3.5-point favorites against the Titans. On the road, come on, man. I'm going here with the Titans and the points against those 49ers. Do you know that when playing at least 3.5-point underdogs this season, the Titans have won against the spread 4-1, 4 out of 5 games. And the Titans have been underdogs in 7 games this season. They've won 5 of them outright. So Tennessee, and what I think is going to be a low-scoring game, is going to come down to the fourth quarter. Tennessee could be in position to win this for you on the money line, but I like the points plus 3.5. Let's see what the Titans can do.
Hey, I like the bet. G-Man, you've been hot this year, so we're not even going to say anything whether or not I can even do it right or wrong. So, hey, let's move on to a new segment here, though. And this is G-Man's prop bet of the week here. G-Man been wild betting, man, killing it this year. Now we're going to give him his own little player prop. He's been killing it at that. And let's see what he got. What do you got for us, G-Man? Player prop of the week.
T-Money put me up there on a pedestal. Look at this. Now I really got to come through. Hey, for the prop block, I'm going back. I'm following the games that I've been already talking about and you've been talking about. I'm going back to that Green Bay game that we said was going to be a Green Bay cover. I just see that Green Bay offense getting at least 30 points against the Browns. That means there's some offense for Aaron Rodgers. I like Aaron Rodgers throwing over 260 passing yards. Okay. He's broken that number 5 games in a row, and the Packers have scored 30 points each of the last 4 games. I think Rodgers lights it up there. I know his receiving core is getting dwindled a little bit. I'm assuming those guys will be there. MVS, I just heard today, is out. But we got Lazard there that'll pick it up. I don't think the Browns will stop this offense. Aaron Rodgers over 260 passing yards in this game. That's my player prop.
All right. Love it. G-Man's player prop of the week. I'm excited. Hey, let's see. We got it. I hope I come through because if I do, then I get to do it next time. Yeah. Hey, we hope you're loving the new Big Bets football show, a special segment brought to you by Father, Son, and Holy Sport, and sponsored by Help Me Startup, our friends at Help Me Startup. Our team, do you have a startup or a new company idea? Why not get help from the experts at Help Me Startup? Try the coaching advice and tools to help you get moving and on your way toward investment and success. Learn more at helpmestartup.co. Hey, you know that we love you? If you love us, press the like and subscribe. Look for us on all the platforms at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. Thank you to Help Me Startup for sponsoring us this week. If you're interested in sponsoring or being a guest on the Big Bet Show, hey, look us up, reach out. Team Money, enjoy that Thursday primetime meeting between your 49ers and the Tennessee Titans. All right, man. It's going to be a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Hey, Merry Christmas from everyone here at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. To all of you, enjoy the games this week. Good luck with your picks.
All right. Merry Christmas. We'll see you.